Controlling this one simple part of your golf game can help you hit better iron shots. Let's do it, and let's do it now. Hi everyone, James Robinson here guys. First things first, I'd like to warmly welcome you all back to the channel. Today I'm talking to you about just how controlling one simple thing in your golf game can help you hit straighter, better and longer iron shots. Now that one thing, I'm going to cut straight to the chase guys, it is the low point of your golf club. Now we all know that with a driver we want to get it launching up in the air. The low point needs to be before the ball. If you didn't know that, there's a little snippet for another video that's coming for you. But with an iron we want to hit down on the ball, we want to pressure the ball, and generally we want to take a nice little credit card sized divot after the ball. Now the reason for this isn't just to take a nice divot after the ball, look like a tour pro and pretend we know what we're doing, even though that's what I do a lot of the time. The reason for this is if you can control the low point of your golf club, not only are you controlling the dynamic loft of the club, so you're controlling the distance, you're also controlling the club face rotation, so you guessed it, you're controlling where the ball actually goes. Now distance control and accuracy are two things which I think are key to playing good golf shots, key to playing great iron shots and key to potentially lowering your scores. So I hear you saying, yes, but James, how does that make me hit longer iron shots? So if we're going to control the dynamic loft, we need to be able to know where the club is going to hit the ball and where it's going to hit the big ball, the earth. Generally, if you hit the big ball behind the little ball, the earth before the golf ball, then you've caught the shot heavy, you've caught it fat, you've caught it, we used to call him a Wayne Rooney, even though he was like a 30 waist and I don't know why. But generally a really quick fix for that is to make sure that your weight transfer is as it should be. If you get to the top of the backswing with, say, an 8-iron like I've got here, and your immediate reaction is to help that ball in the air, generally you might move back off it. That might make you catch the ground a little bit too early. Ideally what we want to do is load up into a nice full backswing here. The weight's on the right foot, and from there we rotate into the left side. You really see my hips doing most of the work there. The weight goes into my left foot, and from there I'm developing a little bit of forward shaft lean. Now if you watch most golfers on the PGA Tour, on the LPGA Tour, on the European Tour, at impact with an iron, this is a bit of an over-exaggeration, but they're going to have that forward shaft lean. What that does to the club, and if you have a club with you at home, then do this while I do it, move that shaft forward, keep moving it forward. Now look at the dynamic loft of that 8-iron. All of a sudden that's more like your 7-iron, isn't it? If you were to release the club early and move the shaft back, that's more like your pitching wedge. We all know that a 7-iron goes further than a pitching wedge. That's how you can hit longer shots, by getting the low point correct. But how do we get it correct? Well, actually, if you've played any sport in the past before, if you've played cricket, if you've played tennis, if you've played American football, any sporting movement, if you've been a boxer particularly, any sporting movement, your energy goes towards your target. So if I'm going to throw a ball in cricket, if I'm going to throw this ball at you at the camera, my weights move towards the target, it's moved towards the camera. I'm going to have to go and get that in a minute. But also say if I'm going to throw an American football, I think that's how you do it, weight projects to the camera. If I'm going to throw a punch, not that I ever would, weight towards the camera. Everything's moving towards you, towards the target. So why would golf be any different? This is something which, especially at junior classes, if you can get junior golfers doing this quickly, the ball striking improves, they start to enjoy golf, and generally they take it up for life. So us as mid-handicap 30, 40, 50-year-olds, how do we not do it? Generally we've taught ourselves not to do it. We've taught ourselves a bad way of releasing the golf club, and because we've developed the hand-eye coordination to be able to do so, that's why you can be so sporadic and why you can have that hot day, that good day, that day where you say, I don't really need lessons, I just need to play more. We've all been there. Okay, so we've discussed why this would give you a little bit more distance and why it would give you, more importantly, a consistent distance. But what about club face control? You said that I'm going to hit straighter irons by getting the low point after the ball, and that's absolutely correct. Because if you imagine a club face rotating around a body here, if I'm going to again release that club early, you see that club face is now closed. If I work that towards the camera, an early release would do this, and all of a sudden that club face is pointing over here. If I can release the club head towards the camera with forward shaft lean, that's pointing straight at the camera or straight at the target, and it's doing so for much longer because I'm not flipping the hands at it, I'm not over releasing the club, I'm not trying to flick it up in the air, I'm trying to get forward shaft lean, pressure onto the golf ball, and ideally do it in such a consistent way that I can start to do it every time. Like that. Oh, how good is that? I love doing instructional videos because I actually do things right. Now, if we look down at the ground here, my golf ball was right where my shot scope GPS was on the end of the club. And now you can see that nice credit card size divot in there. A Visa debit card would fit perfectly in there, and we hit a nice controlled 8-iron up to the green. So keys to take away from this lesson, guys: make sure you do control your weight transfer during the downswing. It's a lot easier to do that if you've controlled the weight transfer in the backswing. You set into that right side, you can project off that, you can rotate your hips, get the weight into the left foot. From there, get a downward angle of attack onto the ball, get a little bit of turf afterwards the size of a credit card, and you're going to play the golf of your life. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed that, make sure you do smash that subscribe button below. I'm going to bring you guys a lot more tips in the coming weeks and months so that during the off season you can improve your game, hopefully with me, and hopefully I hit more iron shots like that, because this hole has been a nightmare hole for me, but maybe no longer. Guys, thanks again. Give us a like if you enjoyed it, and apart from that, I'll look very much forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Bye.